Lions and HBU this Saturday, 6 o'clock kickoff in Houston. And as Coach we were talking about before, no rain in the forecast, unlike last time in Houston. And the game will be on ESPN3 as well as the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. Here's Coach Ron Roberts.
Thank you. Saturday, I felt really probably fortunate to come away with a W. We had a lot of things probably go wrong in that game. You know, we had a kickoff return to touchdown. We got a punt blocked. In those situations, those are tough to overcome. But we found a way to get the W, which was huge. Anytime you get a conference win and don't feel like you played really well, I think that's a huge assets. But obviously, those are things that we can't do on a week in, week out basis and have success. So, you know, again, I look forward to our guys going back to the drawing board and get better this week. We had some great individual performances. Obviously, we returned kickoff to the house. Austin Mitchell is a freshman, kind of his coming out party, and scores 3 touchdowns. And there's some great efforts. There were individual efforts, but as a team, wasn't real pleased with how we played. I thought we made way too many mistakes and some crucial mistakes that can cost you football games. But I'm pleased our guys found a way to get the win and get the conference win, especially at home. Houston Baptist is obviously very good football team. They're struggling as far as the W's, but their defense is outstanding. They got a bunch of 10 seniors over there. They're a very mature group. It's got a lot of football games under their belt. That'll be a huge challenge for us. Offensively, they've got some weapons. They've got some skill guys. They just haven't really seemed to get consistency going. You know, tailback, they got a couple big tight ends. They got some skill players that can make plays. So, you know, it's important that we keep those guys in check, and we're going to have to play really well defensively because our offense is going up against a huge challenge there in their defense, and they haven't given up very many points this year. So it'll be a challenge for us, and looking forward to going on the road, and obviously going on the road, if you can get a conference win on the road, that's pretty huge. So it'll be a big challenge for us going over in Houston this weekend. Open door up for any questions.
We talk about this almost every week with the defensive effort from you guys. I know you didn't give out that last.
Yeah.
That you guys gave up.
Yeah.
How far off are you, you know, from your perspective in terms of playing how you want to play next year?
I think we're really close. You know, it's just a consistency factor more than anything. You know, we have the big play down here where we missed about 3 or 4 tackles. You know, that's big. That, you know, obviously the last drive. You know, I think we had our opportunities to get off the field and don't. But I think we're really close to. You know, we have in the last 2 weeks played really well versus the run. I think we held them to 4 yards rushing. The week before, same thing, roughly around 70 yards. So we've had some good outputs there in the run game, and that shows some consistency up front, and that's huge because it is. I mean, we got 3 freshmen up the D-line that are in that rotation, and they're getting better every week. You know, we're pretty young in that group, so I think they've really played solid versus the run, and that gives us an opportunity. When you get them behind the chains and get them second long, third long, then you get an opportunity to do some good things. But I think we're getting close. You know, just would like to see us be a little more consistent. Do it for 4 quarters, not for 3.5 or 2.5.
Coach, you talked about individual efforts. Marcus Cooper's led you in rushing the last couple of games.
Yeah.
Kind of 2 parts on him. How has he had so much success so far, you know, being only a freshman? And do you see his workload increasing as the season progresses?
Yeah, he's been a bright spot. Obviously, he's extremely quick, and he's got one element that a lot of people can't. You know, you can't really coach or bring. He's got speed, and so he's had huge success the last couple of weeks, and obviously every week he does that, and obviously his workload and reliability is going to increase. He's now went from a spot playing in a backup role to being a guy that we've got to find ways to get him the football in space and let him create some big plays for us. So big bright spot there, especially for him being a freshman coming in and doing those things so early. So we're excited about him.
Coach, you talked about the defense being close to turning that corner. How much of that do you think is the guys starting to get some confidence as the turnovers are starting to show up and the pressure on the quarterback starting to show up a little bit?
Yeah, that's all a big part of it. You know, we found some ways in the last 2 weeks to get off the field in third downs. Got a little more, pressure on them, but that starts really with the first down. Get them in second long, third long is a lot easier than having, second and 5 and third and 4s. So, I think our guys are again as every week they're getting more comfortable and and they're getting better. And so that's huge. And then we maneuver around a little bit, some guys personnel-wise, to make sure, especially on the third down, so we can get the pressure that we need and we can get them down. So it's been huge, and we played some more guys on third down situations, and that's been a huge plus as well.
What are you seeing out of Houston Baptist offense, coach?
Yeah, I mean the tailbacks. I mean he jumps off the screen at you. He's an electrifying player. If he gets the ball in space, we're gonna have trouble getting him down. So we got to make sure we don't get him in space. We got to make sure we get him before he gets going. And they do a lot of things formationally and moving around and stuff. They just haven't had a lot of consistency with anything. They've opened some games up though, and they take the ball down against Central Arkansas first drive, go punch it in. They did the same thing. There was Texas State. They did the same thing, multiple times this year, and then they kind of sputter out. They sputter out because of either penalties and turnovers, So they have the talent, they have the ability. So you can't negate that, and you can't obviously go in there and relax. So we're going to have to go in there and play really well because they're really good on defense. So the thing is, they're not scoring a lot of points, but we got to make sure they don't score any points because their defense is playing at such a high level.
What are they doing defensively that stands out to you?
Not much different than they've been in the past. I mean, they're a 4-down front team. They are bringing a little more pressure than they had last year. But what they've got is some seniors over there. And they got 10 seniors on defense that are they know what they're doing. They know their job. They know the calls they're making. They're executing at a pretty high level. They're pretty athletic up front, the front four. That creates a lot of some problems for you. They run well up front.
You guys are going at 50% clip on fourth down. You went for it 3 times, I think, on Saturday.
Yeah.
What ultimately, when you guys decide to go for it, what ultimately is the deciding factor to say, hey, we're going to go for it?
Well, a lot of times where you're at, it's usually based on the field position and what is it, fourth and what? Is it 4th and 1, 4th and 2, stuff like that. But we get usually, as a general rule for us is we get the midfield range, and if it's 4th and 2 or less, we're going for the thing. Now, sometimes it was a game later in the game we felt it was important. We needed to play field position because we weren't scoring. As long as we kick the thing down there and give them a long field, we're going to be in pretty good shape. So, also the flow of the game also comes into that as well. But generally speaking, most of the time for me, I've always been that way. Is that when we cross midfield, you want to kind of be in a 4-down territory. You want to play the game aggressive. That is, if you can, hopefully you need to convert. If you're not converting, they kind of hurt you on the field position thing huge. But you need to be able to go. I like to be able to go for those things and play aggressive because you keep the football and stay on the field. Most of the time when you convert at the midfield range, you're usually those drives usually turn into points.
What y'all see in the punt block? I know you said you want to go back and watch that one on film too.
Yeah, we just missed it. We had 2 guys our shield didn't come together. One of them turned his shoulders to hit another guy and opened the gate up. The guy ran. They rushed 2 guys, and we just got to do better at that. I don't know. We didn't see the urgency. It was only 2 guys, and basically we got out of the way and let them go block the punt. And we didn't get to the block point. The punter didn't put the ball in the spot, and then we missed the blocks of the shield, which that can't happen. Yeah, nothing they did, or nothing spectacular. They rushed 2 guys. We didn't execute.
Did your punting, because I know you guys had a short punt, did that figure into going for it on 4th down a few times, or was that even a consideration?
Well, yeah, you kind of go into that. Depends on how we haven't been punting the ball. He's kind of struggled the last 2 weeks, so hopefully we're going to get him out of that. But we've been averaging, I think we're averaging around 36 yards a punt, 33 a net, which is not very good. So, yeah, that comes a little bit into the factor. But then he turned around late in the game. We do pop it down there, and does a great job hitting it inside the 10. And Austin Mitchell does a great job backing his feet up to the goal line and keeping the ball out. And so it was a nice job working that situation.
Coach, how important has it been at the beginning of the season having a guy like Juwan back there on kick returns and his explosiveness? And do you think moving forward you're going to see teams kind of trying to kick away from him and limit his opportunities to return more?
Yeah, we've seen quite a bit of that actually. Still try to kick away from him and pooch kick and try not to do that. So it's a huge asset just when you go out there is the ability. He's averaging 30-something yards of return. So basically saying to kick the ball to, you're going to get the ball somewhere on the 40-yard mark. That's pretty huge, field position-wise. But the big ones are obviously when they score and he turns around and can take it back and kill the momentum. Any momentum they got from a touchdown, he can, we can walk out there and flip the field and change momentum swing in a heartbeat. That's huge. And credit a lot of there's some guys in there are really doing a good job of blocking, but you can block it up to a T if you ain't got the right guy. And what he does a great job of hitting it. I mean, he hits it full speed. He's and it's a huge asset, a huge weapon. And it's huge asset just because when they pooch it and stuff like that, you start seeing the field position throughout the game, and they start giving you the ball. They're gonna pooch it to the 30, and you're gonna turn it to the 40, and you're starting to drive out offensively. The ball on the 40-yard line is pretty huge. So he affects the ball game even when he's not touching the ball.
Chemistry there, which was one game between Austin and Lorenzo. I told him basically all he had to do was catch the ball. He was so wide open with some of those plays. But how did that materialize as quickly as it did?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's made some big plays for us earlier, but just in this game, we kind of knew and we felt going in. They were really good. We knew that going in. They were really good on run defense. They were loading it up front there to stop that. Knew we'd have plays on the perimeter in the option game, and knew we would have some plays and opportunities to hit them downfield and pass. And Austin's really fast, so anytime they get the right matchup on the wrong, they match him up on a safety or something. That's a mismatch. A lot of times he's just gonna run by him, and every week you're trying to get situations, you try to get him in those situations, get him matched up and be able to hit it because he does provide you that big play opportunity, a heartbeat.
You seen HBU trying to run it more, or is that what they're basically trying to do offensively?
They're spreading it out. They're doing a little multiple things, they got a freshman quarterback, but they're letting them throw it. I mean, they're relying probably a little more heavy on the passing game, and like I said, they've got some weapons and they've got a good tailback too.
Health-wise, y'all okay?
Yeah. I think we're probably now as healthy as we've been in the last couple of weeks. So we're in pretty good shape.
I guess 3 straight games at least 42 points. That could help you a lot. I don't know
Yeah.
if you kind of dwell on that with your guys, but that's obviously got to be helpful to do that.
No doubt. Anytime you're putting points on the board like that, 'cause at the end of the day, it ain't about yards or any of that stuff. It's about touchdowns. You know what I mean? Putting points up. And it's nice to see the last 3 weeks our offense has been able to score a lot of points, and that's huge.
How you got to go on the road. We talk about it all the time, trying to steal one on the road.
Yeah.
Here's the opportunity here for you.
Yeah, this is a big one. They're all big, and every conference game is a big one. But just where it's falling right in the middle, middle of the season, where it's at and on the road, and they are playing well. They're kind of a scary bunch. They haven't. It's not like once they played everybody tough, so they are a good football team.
Any more questions for Coach?
All right, thank you guys, appreciate it.